use your privilege. Use your privilege. Whatever that privilege may be, whether it's pretty privilege, whether it's intelligent privilege, maybe you're the smartest person in the area that you're at, whether it's, whatever privilege, whether it's privilege with money, you come from a family with money, whatever privilege you have, you should use to your own advantage. And the reason why I'm saying this is because growing up, I never wanted to use any privileges that I had because I was villainized and ostracized for those privileges. A lot of you guys may say, well, how do I know what my privilege is? Well, what are you villainized and ostracized for? Whatever you're villainized and ostracized for is your privilege. People who are saying, oh, well, you're so spoiled, or you came from a family with a lot of money, or, well, you're really pretty, so you're always gonna, oh, well, you're really smart, so you didn't have to study that hard. Whatever people are trying to bully you for is usually your privilege, and your privilege should be used. Gone are the days of us watering ourselves down and putting our privilege in the backseat of our car because we are afraid of using our privilege. It's actually so scary how in life, a lot of us, the fear that we have from not wanting to use our privileges is something that has been bullied into us because people usually make other people feel bad for whatever privilege that they have. A lot of you ladies, you have pretty privilege. We all know what beautiful women go through with gaslighting, jealousy, envy, sabotage, enmeshment, smear campaigns, all the things that beautiful women go through simply for being beautiful. You think that I'm not going to use that to my advantage? I don't believe in the pretty girl curse because you will only see your beauty as a curse when you allow people to take your privilege away from you. Whatever privilege you have should be used. Take this video as your sign. Whatever privilege you have should be used. I remember when they tried to literally attack Kim Kardashian because they're like, oh, well, when she made that video on hard work, right? And she's like, work hard. You have to work hard. And people were like using the fact that she came from a multimillionaire family against her, but she could have came from a multimillionaire family and sat on her butt and did nothing and just spent daddy's money, but she made something out of herself. She developed many different brands. She put in the work. She pushed herself. So yeah, she may have had some privilege, but why is it wrong? Why was it wrong for her to use that privilege? Some of the most saddest, depressed, and down people I've ever met have been beautiful women because they have been bullied into believing that them being beautiful is an offense to society. And then psychologically, they internalize that. And when you psychologically internalize whatever negative narrative has been placed on you, I dealt a lot with that in my past. When you psychologically start to internalize the negative narrative that has been placed on you based on whatever privilege you have, whether that's pretty privilege, whether you have privileges because of the family that you come from, whether you have privileges because of who you're married to. You know, when you watch these reality shows, a lot of these women try to bully other women because they married well and say, oh, it's all your husband or all this stuff. Whatever privilege that you have, people will try to bully you for that privilege. Some of you guys, the privilege is that you're smart, or the privilege is that you're a hard worker. I've met certain people, and this video or this voiceover applies to men and women. I've met men who work. Like, those men work really hard, and their privilege is how hard they work. Their mentality, their ambition, that's beautiful. And some people will be upset at the fact that you're willing to put in the work and they're not. So we're all different, like some of us are super ambitious. Some of us, we're not as ambitious as the people around us, which is okay. But whatever privilege that you have in your life, I believe that you should use it. Growing up in my life, when it comes to like the whole pretty privilege, subject, I got bullied a lot for the way I look, coming from an island family. I come from a family where there's a lot of colorism, and there's a lot of I don't really know how to say it, but there's a lot of competition. So I was the person really getting bullied into the ground growing up. It's a lot of jealousy that I had to deal with. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, wow, you're upset at me because of this? I'm going to make it worse. I'm going to do it times 10. Now, I'm going to show up times 10. I'm going to look even better. I'm going to spend more time on myself. I'm going to develop myself more. I'm going to make you choke. I don't care. I'm going to use my privilege, the privilege that you're trying to bully me for and make me feel bad about. This is not your show. My life is not your show. My life is my show. And that's what I'm always telling people, both men and women. Do not allow people to come into your life and bully you out of whatever good trait that you have. Use your privilege, use your pretty privilege, use your intelligence privilege, use your background privilege, okay? Use your witty privilege, use your funny. Some of you guys, you're really funny. You're able to go into a room and just all eyes on you because you're such a funny person. Whatever privilege you have, use it. Don't let your privilege go to waste. Those things are gifts. Beauty is a gift. The Bible even says that your beauty will make room for you. Beauty is a gift. Coming from a family that's, that has a lot of money and all that, that's a gift. That's a privilege. Being very smart, having a mind that doesn't work like other people, that's a privilege. Why are you not using your privilege? I know why you're not using your privilege, because you've allowed people to bully you out of your privilege. I've had women and, they meet me and they say, oh, well, you think you're better than anyone. I'm like, I do? Okay. Oh, well, you think that your ish doesn't stink. I do? Okay. Because I know their goal is to try to bully me because there's something about me that's triggering them, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You're not going to stop my show. You're not going to get in the way of what I need to do. You're not going to think that I'm going to allow you to gaslight me into believing that something is wrong with me, because nothing is wrong with me. You have to stand your ground. This applies to men too. A lot of men, you're doing good, you're working hard, you're taking care of your wife, you're taking care of your girlfriend, and people are like, oh, you're a simp. You're a simp because you spend money on your girl. You're a simp because you treat your girl well. Those people are jealous. They're jealous, and they want to make you feel bad for where you are in life, what you have, and how much you've accomplished. Use your privilege. I'm sure there's a woman listening to this. I don't know who you are, but you've had privilege. You're beautiful and you're smart, but there have been people that wanted you to believe other about yourself. And you've wasted a lot of your years because you allowed people to bully you out of your privilege. That's what you're going through right now. You got bullied out of your privilege. So I want you to know that the time is now. I don't care if it was your family that bullied you. I don't care if it was a friend, a lover. Use your privilege. The privilege that people have been trying to beat you down about is the privilege that you should be using. I know that I use my privilege. I don't feel bad about my privilege, having that privilege, because you have to ask yourself, are you going to just let people keep tearing you apart for the privilege that you have? Or are you going to be like, you know what? That thing that you're so jealous of, guess what? I'm going to use it. And I'm never going to stop, because I'm not going to let you villainize my privilege. So use your privilege. And don't let anyone gaslight you into believing that you having privilege or you having your privilege is some type of insult to that person. Use the privilege that you have been granted. I'm going to say that one more time. Use the privilege that you have been granted, the gift that you have been granted, whether it's beauty, whether it's talent, whether it's smarts, maybe you're a good orator. Do not allow human beings and people to bully you out of your privilege, okay? For myself, talking as someone who's been considered relatively attractive, I've had women think that they were going to bully me and make me feel like I'm unworthy of anything of value because, oh, well, she's pretty. That's all she deserves. I'm going to make sure that I, try to drag her character. I'm going to make sure that I try to run her out of this environment. I'm going to make sure that I make her doubt herself. I'm going to gaslight her into believing that she's a bad person. But in reality, I'm envious of the way that she looks and I'm upset that she has boundaries and she won't let me in. So as a result of that, I'm going to gaslight her into believing she's a bad person. Sweetie, I have been called worse by better. You cannot gaslight me and get into my mind and make me believe I'm anything other than what Jesus Christ says I am. You have the wrong one. Your gaslighting tactics are not going to work. I'm going to use my privilege. There's nothing you can do about that. You cannot stop that. Because I know that whatever privilege I have is a privilege that God gave to me. So I'm not going to allow you to come in and take over that privilege or gaslight me into believing that the privilege cannot be used. And I always tell women that, and men, whatever your privilege is, do not allow anyone to come in and tell you that it cannot be used or gaslight you. That's one of the main reasons why I don't keep people around me. I don't have people in my presence often because people have a habit, and men and women do this, it's not just women. Men and women have a habit of bullying people out of whatever beautiful thing, whatever beautiful gift that God has instilled in a person. People try to bully that person out of it. That's why I'm really not a people person, because I don't like the way that people operate, and I don't like the way that people are bullies. And if they feel like you have something that they don't have, or you have something in you that's very bright, they want to try to bully you out of that. So use your privilege. This video is your sign to use your privilege.